So today we're playing a Berserker, and we have a super unique build today that combines the big old busted blade with not one, but 2 ruby chunks. Now all these have 100% crits, and we might even end up with a crazy DPS. But hey, check this run out and let me know what you think of this build. Okay, let's go jump some rank games with a random character and see who we're gonna get. Okay, so we're starting off with the Berserker with a pineapple, which is kind of awesome, which makes me want to grab a frying pan. We're gonna grab Whetstone 2. Banana on sale is kind of awesome, and we are definitely going to grab this garlic. Now we do want to add this in, roll once, definitely need the storage. We're going to take it out, and let's move on with this for now. So the pineapple is going to be pretty good early on because it is going to be stacking up some spikes, which is going to make our opponent take a lot more damage. Every time they hit, they're going to take that spike damage, and this is going to be pretty good. Just pausing the video here very quickly, just to ask you to subscribe. It really helps me out. Thanks. Now let's get back to the video. For the first few rounds, I'm going to grab storage. Let's add in our sword. Let's add in our Star of Courage. And I'm going to roll looking for another Whetstone, which is pretty darn awesome. Let's get some more storage, and I might actually take this garlic for now. I'm going to leave in our Star of Courage because that does reduce our stamina on our weapons by quite a bit, so we definitely want to add that in. But we'll see, so far this should be pretty good. We should be able to stack up some spikes. Now unfortunately our opponent is a ranged weapons. Spikes is not actually going to do anything. Again, that range stacks. But so far not too bad. Now that's a rainbow badge, which is going to be a lot of fun to actually take. Now for this round, let's actually grab more storage, and let's go ahead and grab this Whetstone. I'm actually going to grab this rainbow badge in the next round, but let's keep it moving for now. We did change it up around quite a bit, so our banana, our frying pan, our pineapple are all in our duffel bag. So it should be pretty good. But this opponent is looking quite scary because it is a Berserker. But again, we're stacking up that spikes, and that's spikes early. He's going to be pretty strong. And we do have our duffel bag, so we get Battle Rage at half HP. But the opponent actually gets Battle Rage within the first 5 seconds. So overall, not too bad. We did get a hero sword. And we do have a choice to make. Investment opportunity, slime time, or extra Anki. Well, I think I actually kind of want to take its slime time. Reason being, it has been recently changed, and it's looking pretty good. Now that's a freaking hunger blade, which I actually do want to grab. I'm going to say goodbye to a frying pan. We do still want to get our little goblins. And we definitely need to grab his healing herbs. Now let's roll once, and let's save our gold from now on. But this should be pretty good. This should be a lot of healing. And we can craft up a goobert whenever we want. So we can either go for bloody gooberts. But I much prefer going for some cheese gooberts and potentially a falcon blade. I think that's going to be one of our best bets. But we'll see. So far, this opponent is looking not too bad. They are inflicting some blind on us. If we can't hit, we can't get our vampirism. But they're going to be taking our vampirism also with that garlic. But that's a lot of spikes stacked up. And overall, smashing. Let's grab our storage, let's grab a rainbow badge, and I'm actually super tempted to grab an eye lamp for some skilling damage. The problem is, we do need to roll looking for some gloves. And we could end up grabbing some heat and potentially going for a burning blade or even a flame up. But we'll see, this opponent does have this smelly wall, which is going to be quite scary. Because it's going to be a lot of block for opponents. But so far, not looking too bad. We do survive to a rainbow badge, so we do get one of every buff, which is pretty good. Now they do have 2 health pots, which is going to provide a lot of healing for opponents. And they are going to take down our vampirism. But so far, looking pretty good. Now there's our little forging hammer. That's also a deck of cards, which we could go for some dragons. Well, to be honest, a ruby chunk is going to be crazy good for us. So we're going to have to grab it. We are going to have to reserve this deck of cards. I do want this fanny pack. And we did spend a lot of gold on grabbing a ruby whelp or ruby egg, which really does nothing. We are going to be at a bit of a disadvantage for this round. Now it does reflect 3 debuffs, which does mean that poison that is stacked up from the smelly wall is actually applied to opponents. But unfortunately, as I said, we spent a lot of money not actually getting any stronger. Let's grab the fanny pack. Let's grab the deck of cards, which does give us a fool card, which does give us 1 in power. Let's grab the flame. I'm actually going to leave the goobling for now and we are going to roll. We could craft up a chili goobers instead. I'm going to leave for now. Let's keep it rolling. And let's roll one more time. Now, although that is Busted Blade, which I'm thinking about grabbing because, honestly, that's going to be fantastic. The problem is we did skip on our little forging hammer and we are going to have to wait till we get that again. We'll see. This opponent is dealing a lot of flat damage to us. With our setup, they're going to have a lot of heals. And unfortunately, we're still going to fall short. But with our Ruby Belt, we should be in a fantastic spot. And since we have slime time, I did want to go for Shaman Mask with a Falcon Blade and a bunch of cheese cupboards. But I think we're going to have to take a Wolf Emblem. That's going to be a lot of pets for us. That is in the Obsidian Dragon if we do want. But I'm going to sell all these. We are going to grab our Practice Large Greatsword. I'm going to grab our Armor Doggo. I'm not going to take Obsidian Dragon because honestly, I much prefer getting a Ruby Chunk more than anything. And we're going to have to roll and we have to actually find our little forging hammer. We're going to take a little bit of storage. Let's sell the Garlic to roll. Let's sell that flame to roll once again. Okay, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to find it as right now. So this might be a bit of a problem for us with our setup because we can't craft up our doggos. We can't craft up our Busted Blade. So we could be in a bit of trouble. But so far, we're dealing big damage. And actually, not too bad. I say that and we still haven't won, and now we did win. But overall, awesome. I'm going to continue to roll. Let's keep going. That's a power pup, which is kind of awesome. I'm still not going to take it. There's a little forging hammer. We're immediately going to craft up Busted Blade. Now let's roll once more. And our little bag opportunity is a tiny little protector purse. Which we're going to have to take out our little healing herbs for right now. And let's go to move on. Now we are going to begin a Dancing Dragon, which is going to be a lot of damage, especially if you're going to be turbo stacking a lot of heats. The more heat you do stack up, the more damage you're going to be dealing. We do have Battle Rage, but I don't think it's going to save us, unfortunately. So we are going to bleed one more life. We do get a Busted Blade, which is going to be amazing for us. Now we do have Chase to make. Dragon set would be fantastic, except we don't have any of the pieces for it. So I don't think we can actually afford to take it. Shielded. Really bad for us actually, so I think we're going to have to take Superspacious. Immediately get that leather armor. We're not going to take it. Now that's Ruby Chunk, which we definitely want to grab. Also going to grab another penny pack. We're going to slot that in up top for now. Let's keep it rolling. We definitely want a stamina stack. We're going to add our deck of cards in up top. We're going to be crafting up that Wisdom Pup. Let's roll one more time. Okay, light. One more time. We could take an Acorn Collar, which would be kind of awesome. We don't stack up a lot of luck though, and we're already going to have crit chance from a Wolf Emblem, so I don't think we're going to take it. So we're going to roll one more time. Now, actually, another Ruby Chunk would actually be amazing. So I think we're going to chance trying to get it, but let's keep it moving for now. And Slime Time hasn't been putting in a lot of work for us, because all we have is two little Gooblings, and this one is targeting a Busted Blade, which is super slow. Yeah, we're going to begin a Busted Blade, which does have some crit chance. And unfortunately, it's going to outpace us. Which is super unfortunate. But we did get a Ruby Chunk. We're going to have to grab this Friendly Courage Pup. We're going to grab a bit of extra storage. And we're going to sell all this. Which is crazy, but we are going to grab another Dragon. Now with a Ruby Chunk in, we should be in a pretty good spot, but we are going to move on. We definitely want to craft up a second Ruby Chunk. Now we're taking a big risk by grabbing another Dragon Egg. We spend a lot of gold on not a whole lot of value. We actually got a little bit weaker. And smashed. We barely won because our opponent has so much healing. But awesome. Let's grab this Hollow Fire Lizard. Let's actually roll for now. That's another Hollow Fire Lizard, which is going to be awesome. Now Prismatic Orb is kind of interesting. But I'm not going to take it. Now we could end up selling a Rainbow Badge, to be quite honest. But let's keep it moving for now. We should have a lot of crit chance on our Busted Blade, which should be amazing. Our opponent is going to have a lot of Vampirism. We have that big crit chance. And unfortunately, we're still going to end up losing. And we do have a Ruby Elf. We're going to be grabbing the storage. We're going to be flipping this over to this side. we're going to be crafting up a second ruby chunk. We're going to grab the stamina sack. We're going to roll once. That is another goobling, which we're going to want to grab. And we're going to roll again. And we definitely want another courage pop. Well, let's see. Is this going to be enough? Are we going to fall short? Can we survive? We are going to begin a villain sword. They're going to be bursting this down pretty fast. What so are we? We should have 100% crit chance right now. Well, 94 actually. So we do need one more pup. And once we get a second ruby chunk in, we should be in a pretty darn good spot. And speaking of pretty good, we're definitely going to be grabbing this pup. We're going to flip this here, and that should guarantee 100% crit chance. Now, as much as I'd love to grab another hollow fire lizard, we actually need to grab this fanny pack. Now, we do need to figure out a way that we can get that crit chance on a ruby chunk. So I'll be back in a second while I sort our inventory out. Now, we did change all this up around, so we get that crit chance on all our ruby chunks. So this should be pretty good overall. We do want that hollow fire lizard. We're going to see. Is this going to be good enough? We do have 100% crit chance on our busted blade along with the ruby chunks. So we should be able to deal that big burst damage and smashing. Now we do exactly want to check just how much DPS we actually managed to have. 75 DPS, which is pretty darn good. As for heals, non-existent. As for block, pretty much non-existent. We definitely still want to be grabbing more and more heat, because the more heat that we do have, well, we need at least 12, and then we can start stunning our opponents. Let's grab a hollow fire lizard. Let's roll once. Let's roll twice. I'm going to grab this for now so we can actually slot it in like so. Let's roll once again. I definitely want another wisdom pup. That's going to be awesome for us. I think we're going to sell our rainbow badge for now, so we can craft up that wisdom pup, because that is going to be a little bit more block for us. Even though we are a burst type build, we do want to be able to stack up a little bit of block for ourselves. However, can we deal with this berserker? They're going to rock that Thorn Bloom, and this is fantastic damage. Definitely awesome. And we did end up with 16 heats, which is pretty good for a ruby chunk. And if we did have that dragon set, all this damage would be lifesteal. Well, 20% of the damage. Again, as for healings, our little gooblings not providing too much. As for block, wisdom pups, not doing crazy insane. But let's go and see, can we survive for our final 3 rounds? And speaking of surviving, that is another eye lamp, which is going to be 2 more heat from the very beginning, which should be pretty good. We're going to take a stamina sack. Well, let's roll again. We could take one more goobling. I'm not going to as of right now. Another goobling, which is kind of crazy, and we could end up taking a bloody amulet. I think we're going to sell this little goobling for this bloody amulet. Now, it's not going to be insane or anything, but it does give our courage pups some vampirism along with our busted blade. Now, busted blade, but it's not going to provide a lot for our ruby chunks. But it is what it is. Let's go ahead and move on for now. We are still having our eye lamps target our ruby chunk. We could have it target a busted blade. But we'll see. This point is going to have a lot of armor, a lot of max life. But we are turbo smashing him. And it's looking pretty good. That's some big damage. Busted blade is definitely still busted for sure. Now, out of all these options, I do want to roll. We could end up stacking a bit of max life if you do want to. I don't think we actually want to grab it. I'm going to end up grabbing this tiny little bag. Now, another hollow fire lizard is amazing. I actually want to grab another one of these pups. And I'm going to end up crafting you down here. We're slowly replacing all our little gooblings. That's for sure. We're going to place this up top like this for right now. And I do want one more hollow fire lizard, which does mean I'm going to sell our little goobling. I'm actually going to sell that little pouch that we did just buy, so we can add in more hollow fire lizards. And it's looking pretty good. However, can we deal with this ranger? So far, yeah. The fight is over in a couple of seconds. That is smashing. Now, this is our final round, so we can't craft anything else up. So we're going to say goodbye to our little fortune camera. We're going to roll. And I don't think we want any of these items. So let's roll again. The battle rage would be kind of nice, but I don't exactly want it. I would craft up a cap discomfort to reduce a lot of healing. We're not going to take any of these. Now, we could end up taking a prismatic orb, but honestly, there's no real point. And what I could take is this fanny pack, increasing the speed of this doggo, along with our eye lamp. We can add this back in. Let's roll again. That's another doggo if we do want it. I think we do, because it's going to speed up our current pups and it's going to make use of that vampirism. Let's roll one more time. Okay, one more time. And one more time. And let's actually sell our leather bag and roll one final time. And that's it. This is going to be our whole build. Busted Blade, definitely still being busted. With a Wolf Emblem and with double ruby chunks on top of it for big, big dragon bursts. But overall, Rainbow Badge, always a ton of fun. Can we survive? Can we deal the damage? We are pretty much a burst build. We do stack up a little bit of block. But we'll see. We are going to begin a super fast healing build with a Bloody Harvester. And that's a lot of vampirism stacked up. And they have tons of block. But we're dealing that big, big damage. And those ruby chunks are dealing big, big damage. We do enter battle rage, but our opponent is answering back with a lot of damage. And this actually will be super close. And actually, 2 HP, can we bring it back? Holy moly, what an ending. 1 HP in a dream. And this is straight up nuts. For sure, our opponent had so much vampiric items, especially with Nocturnal Locklifter. And they managed to get so much vampirism. As for damage dealt, we managed to get 150 DPS. Between that Busted Blade, between those ruby chunks, between all our pups. Yeah, this is definitely fair. Compared to our opponent's DPS, which is a 55 DPS, but look at their heals, 117 healing per second. Which is amazing, by the way. As for our heals, yeah, we had amazing healing of 12 in the whole fight. As for block though, we managed to get a 20 block per second, which definitely kept us alive. Getting these 3 wisdom pups, definitely worth grabbing. But hey, perfect showcase of slime time with our little gooblings providing so much healing and making a perfect use of all those goobers. Honestly, it was just 2 little tiny gooblings by the end of it, but they did provide crit chance for Busted Blade, which we slowly replaced with our doggos. But yeah, Busted Blade is still pretty darn good, especially when you add in 2 ruby chunks for 150 DPS. Awesome. Now we did survive with 2 lives left. Let's go and see just how much rank points we did get. Plus 10, our rank is up quite a bit. But anyways, I'm going to leave you here for now. Just want to say thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, or even consider subscribing. And hope to see you look up for the next one. See you next time.